Okay, Recon's video on Sunday, the 5th of March 2023, just gone 12:35 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. Hope you had a good week's trading. So, time for another weekend futures market recap. We'll go through 15 largest futures markets and I'll show you what I'm seeing on my charts. First of all, an apology for not putting out a video last weekend. I had a bad week's trading, and frankly, I was just not in the mood to put out a video. So, when things like that happen, I think it's always best to do productive stuff instead and kind of avoid your charts, go away, have a think, and then come back to it later. So this week, luckily, had a better week's trading, so happy to put out a video this weekend. Anyway, this week's activity I think was super important. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the E-mini I think was really important, and also on the longer term charts when it comes to the energy sector. I think we've got some important stuff to talk about. So first of all, going to talk about the better volume indicator on the E-mini. And the better volume indicator is something I rarely talk about on Emini-Watch and the video updates because it's been superseded in my mind by the better Pro-Am indicator, which I think is more accurate. But I still look at it every day. This is the chart setup I have all the way down to a 1 minute chart. Frankly, I'm not looking down at the 1 minute charts. I'm kind of concentrating on the higher time frame charts like the daily chart, the 135, 81 minute and the 45 minute charts. All of these, there are a whole number of bars in the trading day. So, for example, an 81-minute chart, there are exactly 5 81-minute bars in a day session of the E-mini. But on better volume, on the daily chart with this week's activity, we had a pretty important pattern. This is a pattern that is not in the feature article on better volume and never really kind of talked about it very much, but I call it the red, white, and blue pattern because it's a series of white, then blue, then red bars, or the other way round. Red, then blue, then white bars. And for me, it shows a turning point. And this is what we had with the last 5 or 6 days trade on better volume. You can see we have a couple of bars here that are white. I also have better sine wave here showing supports in that single time frame on a chart, but kind of ignore those and just concentrate on the color of the bars. So we've got 2 white bars here, which ostensibly look strong, but during the day, what we were seeing was they were exhaustion sell bars there going on. Then we have a couple of days green bars, nothing to note in terms of better volume, but then we have a blue bar. Blue bar is a high churn bar, which means there's relatively high volume going through, but relatively low range, high to low on that day, and that's a churn bar. And then with Friday's activity, we have a red bar showing exhaustion buy. So you have a sequence: exhaustion sell, churn, exhaustion buy, and that's a turning point there. Red, white, and blue. So red, white, and blue. Also happens on the upside where you have exhaustion buy, then churn, and then exhaustion sell, a turning bar. But what it in fact is happening is the market's selling off, then it's being caught by the professionals who are coming in. So amateurs are panicking out, or the weak hands are panicking out of the market and selling down, and it's being captured. All of that selling volume is being bought up by the professionals kind of stepping in, or the strong hands kind of stepping in, which compresses the range of that bar. And then you get a signal sometime later showing that everybody's kind of getting on board a change in trend, and you get an exhaustion buy pattern kind of setting off the move. Now, I should have coded this up as a little pattern with a little kind of text symbol on there kind of years ago, because I think it's kind of important. I don't know what the probability of success of that trade if you kind of use this as a system. But the blue high churn bars are super important. They often kind of pop up at these turning points. So for example, there's a blue bar there, a turning point. That happens to be amateur bars, low volume bars, kind of heading into that turning point. We've got a little one there where we have some weakness. Here's another one down here showing a turning point there. So they're super important, and I think they're kind of worth pointing out. So I don't know, one day on the to-do list, it's to code up that little pattern, red, white, and blue as to turning point, be able to kind of see those on different time frames to catch turning points. But I think that's important because we're catching on the E-mini, and we had a 2-week kind of sell-off, and finally with Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's activity, I think we're now starting the next leg. Also on the daily charts, want to draw your attention to the energy complex. Crude, this is the 460-minute chart, so there are exactly 3 460-minute bars in a day session of crude, and you can see here over the last 10 days or so we've had triple signals go off, and we had a really strong reversal day during Friday. You can see it kind of sold off, and then at 76 professionals stepped in and pushed it back up to 79. And we've had exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, and flush patterns here. Another exhaustion sell, bullish divergence. So a lot of activity in that range. They're kind of selling off but getting caught. So we got blue professional bars, first of all stepping in here and then coming in again and stepping in. We've broken above those blue professional bars. We were oversold because the background is in red, and then we had some triple signals go off and some signs of strength after that, the red arrows pointing upwards. So that's all kind of good for crude contract, kind of showing strength and maybe next leg of the trend. And I've been talking over the last couple of weeks, watch out for natural gas. And although natural gas didn't signal at the bottom down here, we're in the $2, and I was saying there's a lot of professional activity going on. We had some down here, and we had a whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of step in here, and then with Friday's afternoon trade, bang, we come up above the $3 mark here, so that's important. It's oversold with the background in red, massively oversold. Last time we had blue professional bars, they were selling it down here with exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, bang. On the downside here, we have not had exhaustion sell, and so that's why this has not signaled into a triple signal. We have two of the three patterns oversold. We busted above the trailing stop on Better Pro-Am, but we don't have exhaustion sell and bullish divergence down here. But that's okay. That whole sector, I think, is super important. And while we're on these daily charts, just going to show you corn, because I had a bad call on corn when I was talking about this pattern here, and I was wondering which way it was going to resolve. We had professional bars sell off here and then kind of buy it up, and I was wondering if that was a U-turn where the professionals were just going to keep on pushing it up and we were going to go through 700 on corn. But no, bearish divergence comes in, we break into a downtrend on better sine wave here with white bars, and we just slowly kind of drop away. Now professionals have stepped in back here, the 600 and odd dollar mark, but this pattern here did not resolve to the upside. That wasn't professionals selling it off, buying it up. They were just playing with us, and the professionals do play with us. They were playing with that range, kind of getting people like me thinking that that was going to break out to new highs. Nope, did not go that way. Broke into a downtrend and has sold off again. So that was just a recap of that. We talked about that some weeks ago. So there we go. That I think it's important on the better volume indicator with the red, white, and blue turning pattern on the E-mini, and then that energy sector starting to get interesting. So let's go to the E-mini and back it down from the daily chart, just using the traditional setup of the indicators on two panels side by side. Everything to do with volume on the left-hand side, everything to do with price on the right-hand side. And when volume and price are both kind of moving together, the background on these charts is painted in red. I've been saying for some weeks now, after these blue professional bars came in on the sell-off, that we were in an uptrend, and we just needed to sit through this kind of sell-off that we've had, which has lasted 2 weeks, and now with this week's activity, bang, looks like we finally found support. So the background is still in black at the moment, because yes, we're above the trailing stop on Better Pro-Am, but we with that last 2 or 3 days activity, we broke into a little bit of a downtrend on Better Sine Wave with the bars turning white, because we kept below, we broke that support there, which was kind of important. We've also got a little bit of time on this daily chart before the intermediate time frame here. These two lines kind of come down and cross and find a support. So I don't know, are we going to kind of come down again and test until the timing is right, or are we just going to keep on powering away? Let's wait and see. I think we're going to break through these highs at 4,200, kind of get this thing going. So I think this week's activity is going to be fun. Uptrend on the daily chart. We're just in the dark at the moment with the background in black, and we just need kind of confirmation that we're breaking into a confirmed uptrend. So the 135-minute chart here, yep, this is kind of weak with the background in grey or white, because we had those blue professional bars kind of take profits here. But with this Thursday, Friday activity, it's pretty strong, and we've had exhaustion sell, flushing out the last of the sellers at that point. And so if they get wrong-footed and we kind of start breaking up through 41.88, then they're going to be stops triggered, and it'll get very exciting above that level. 45-minute chart, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, support in the highest time frame here. No blue professional bars, we're kind of waiting for those to come in to trail the stop down, but that was a nice little kind of turning point there. And this is the 15-minute chart. The solid yellow lines are showing us the week, Friday to Friday kind of activity. So you can see the last 2 weeks we've been in a sell-off, exhaustion sell getting the move going, and then exhaustion sell ending the move. So that's the strength of the selling, and then this is flushing everybody out. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, flush patterns down here with some nice big readings here on better momentum, showing us that a lot of that volume, the sellers have been kind of flushed out of the market. And there are the blue professional bars stepping at the lows there. So on the 15-minute chart, we're kind of signaling into a confirmed uptrend here. Broken above better pro-am, which has trailed all the way down to those blue professional bars, exhaustion sell, and we're oversold. So I think on the 15-minute chart we've got triple signals going off there. Super strong bars churning, turning and churning on the Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday getting the move going. 13,500 tip bar chart. Just going to show you this because of the here you can see, yep, nice strong uptrend up here, but here it's the Rambo patterns. So Rambo patterns happen when we have amateurs playing at the breakout levels, and they often get wrong-footed. So that's a Rambo pattern, is a potential reversal of an amateur breakout. So the breakout's being led by the amateurs, they get wrong-footed and it goes the other way. So we had a move being led by the amateurs here with Rambo patterns at the top of the channel there, bang, and we go all the way to the other side, and there they are at the bottom, getting wrong-footed. And taken out on their stops here. That's when you see kind of Rambo patterns midway through a move or at a breakout of a previous level, that's where they're having to reverse and be stopped out. So at that point here they were going short, and then at this point here they were having to reverse and be stopped out of their trades as the market continues on. So there we go, professional and amateur activity, super important. So 13,500 tip bar chart. Let us now look at the signals on all of the tip bar charts for the 15 different markets. Some of these signals are super nice this week, some of them not so good. So well, we'll show you everything. So let's talk about the Forex contracts first. Euro. I'm actually long euro at the moment, and this has been my bugbear over the last couple of weeks. Finally got this one right, and so it's kind of going my way, which is good. But triple signal at this point here wasn't triple signal short, wasn't a great signal because it was the wrong place. We didn't have blue professional bars up here, we didn't have exhaustion buy up here, so I mean that wasn't a good looking signal to start with. But we're breaking out on the Forex contracts and the euro is going strong. This activity a few days ago was super important. The average trade size and the professional activity was massive on all of the Forex contracts here on that turn. And you can see all those blue professional bars kind of step in. We come back with a couple of really nasty tests, really savage moves back down into that zone, but it holds, and we're breaking above these blue professional bars, the trailing stop here, into an uptrend on euro. So I'm long euro at the moment, holding on to that and seeing where that goes. That could go back up to 110. British pound was a nicer signal here. Short signals with blue professional bars catching the high there, a sell-off at this point, and we've triggered a triple signal long at the moment. Blue professional bars coming in at the lows at that point here, and we've signaled kind of long on British pound. And on the longer time frame charts, British pound on the daily charts has big volume, big average trade size going through, which is kind of strange because no one thinks anything that's happening in the UK at the moment is particularly interesting or positive, I would say. But maybe people are looking forward. Maybe all the Brexit renegotiations and the agreement over Northern Ireland, maybe people are thinking all of that's kind of positive. But anyway, the charts are the charts. We don't need to understand why the move is happening. We just need to jump on board. Aussie dollar signaled long this week. Blue professional bars at the lows, exhaustion sell at the beginning of the week, bullish divergence kind of comes in. We test into those lows, and then a nice little stair step pattern here where pro-am kind of stair steps up, blue professional bars kind of grab it. We know that they've gone long at that point because any test of that kind of range, blue bar to blue bar, high to low there, gets tested into, and we don't even go down to the bottom of the range, and we come back up above the highs of those blue professional bars there, bang. So we're in uptrend, and that exhaustion buy is getting the move going. So out of the channel there. So I'm pretty bullish on Aussie dollar as well. Japanese yen should be doing the same thing. They all should be kind of turning around. A little bit of a short pattern here, didn't kind of go anywhere, but blue professional bars at the lows. One little blue professional bar here, a couple here, so maybe getting ready for the jump. You know, a little gathering pattern of blue professional bars waiting for that jump above, 73 and a bit into 74. So that's all good. And the E-mini, look at this, all the signals, the triple signals over the last 2 weeks. As we've sold off, we've just tried to catch as we pushed lower and lower. Not by much, we're kind of in this fairly tightish range, 60-point kind of range here that we've been pushing down, but all of these signals kind of coming in. Finally, we get the test and then the break again. So I think this is good. When this kind of happens, what you need to do is move to the next higher time frame and look for blue professional bars and confirmation of a change in trend. That's why I was showing you kind of the daily charts on that. So that's the E-mini and 10-year notes. Tried to catch at the beginning of the week, didn't go anywhere. Whole family of blue professional bars kind of come in, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, and we sell off. No triple signal there because we're not overbought. There's no grey background at that point, but we sell off, blue professional bars kind of step in again, and we've got some strength going on the 10-year notes. Gold. Gold now is strong at the moment. Didn't signal down here because with gold we didn't have exhaustion sell, and that's been a bit of a bugbear of either gold or silver over the last several months. It's like we've never got the exhaustion sell patterns down there, but gold is strong. By contrast though, silver we did, I think, get the exhaustion sell patterns. There we go. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, oversold, blue professional bars step in, triple signal, bang. Test, sign of strength kind of comes in, and we're busting above that kind of range. So that was important. That was the level that they broke down at 21.40.50, whatever it is there, 21.30, and now we tested up into it, and now we're breaking above it. So that's looking good for gold and silver. And Bitcoin. Bitcoin again, super volatile. All the blue professional bars come in to try and hold it at this point. Doesn't go anywhere. Comes down again, lurches down into the 22,000. But at least we're in the 20s at this point. We're not talking about the teens on Bitcoin. So that is something. A whole bunch of blue professional bars come in. Tried to hold it at that point. So let's see if we get a kind of a bit of strength in Bitcoin this week. Energy sector, crude. This was the setup for the strength that we've had this week. All the triple signals kind of going off down here at 74. Yes, we had, that was kind of Thursday into Friday's trade, a triple signal. But look at that, just a V reversal, bang. No blue professional bars, nothing really to say that was an important 76 level that they were going to come in at. But they did, and they kind of pushed it back up. So that signal short would have been stopped out here at 78 and a bit. But now on the higher time frame charts, I think crude is starting to break higher. Natural gas, super strong over the last 2 weeks, and been talking about that level down here at $2 tested down. I'm not sure what that low was down there. Yeah, 217, 2 in the teens, kind of there. That was it. And then super strong ever since. Yep, we had some triple signals go on here, but on the higher time frames, that doesn't want to reverse. It wants to break above $3 and kind of keep going. So that's the energy sector looking strong. Copper, nice signal beginning of the week. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, blue professional bars, oversold, bang. And now we've come back up. So no taking of profits up here. The next time we see blue professional bars after they bought the lows down here is the stair step trade. Test back down into 4.6, 4.7. Blue professional bars kind of step in. So we need that level to hold. Nice thing about stair step trades is you can keep your stop super tight on that kind of just below here. And if you get kind of taken out on the stop, the loss is small, but the chance of that trade working out is kind of relatively high. So there we go. So that's copper. So ags. Okay, we know the ags have been super weak. Ugh, horrible patterns here. Sold off here, but down here we did get kind of signals long. So Let's not dwell on the corn chart. I think the soybeans and the wheat charts are looking better. There we go. There is soybeans this week. Exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, flush patterns, blue professional bars. I'm a broken record, but there we go. Triple signal long and wheat. Wheat's nice signals kind of here, short into that move, and it's basing at the moment, waiting for that break above the trailing stop on Better Pro Am. No blue professional bars since the beginning of the week, but it'd be interesting to kind of look for those. But I think we've got other things to look at that are more interesting. I think the energy sector, and I think the E-mini and also the Forex contracts are far more interesting at the moment. So there we go. I hope you found that interesting, and I'm looking forward to next week's trade.